The TVWan News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello and welcome. This is TVWan News. I'm Carol Kidu Jr.
And I'm Rex Lita. I'll join you later with the latest in sports.
In this edition, Malahang Technical exceeds student limit, PM Marape on two-day visit to Australia, and PNG women avoid loss in Olympic qualifier opener. Minister for Higher Education, Research, Science, Technology and Sport Don Pollier, during his visit with the Minister for Education of the People's Republic of China, spoke about incorporating Starlink into the entire higher education sector in Papua New Guinea. Minister Pollier says Starlink's capability aligns with the goal of digitalizing the higher education and research sector in the country.
During his recent visit to the People's Republic of China, the Minister for Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Don Pollier, spoke about the digitalization of the sector through Starlink. According to Pollier, his agenda for 2024 and his urge to developing countries is to invest in affordable and accessible internet access, invest in the development of robust ICT infrastructure, and ensure that educators and administrations within higher education institutions acquire proficiency in utilizing ICT, embracing its manifold advantages.
Another aspect that I also highlighted to them was the speed of the internet flow, the internet service that is made available to Papua New Guinea. We must have highways for the digital to digital education to take place. And I'm happy that the Department of Telecommunication has, I think now, communicated with Starlink. And Starlink is established, and I'd like to apply that in the higher education space, in the universities, in the colleges, and in TVETs, where we can increase the speed and the quantity of information presented within a short time period.
Minister Pollier emphasized that Starlink has expanded its coverage over PNG late last year and delivers high-speed internet access, giving benefit to the sector's change towards digitalization.
Starlink boasts after about 150 Mbps, right? And the time at which the latent speed is 2/20th of a second. So in a very short time period, you have a big volume of information made available to the user. And I'm happy that Papua New Guinea has chosen to use the service of Starlink to enhance us in its progress. And I have talked to my secretary, so we will use Starlink services to improve our penetration into the use of digital education in all those higher education institutions and the colleges and the TVETs we have. And I encourage the others in country, in PNG, to do the same.
Minister is looking towards connections rural and remote regions in the educational space through Starlink and will begin this course this year.
With most of the extra grade 9 students in Leh being sent to Malahang Technical Secondary School, the institution is desperately looking at alternatives. Principal Winston Lee Taomba said while they can only take 200 grade 9 students, they are now looking at over 300 students.
Ley in Morobe province is currently experiencing what has been described as an over-selection of grade 9 students. With an improved performance of hundreds of grade 8 students in their 2023 national examinations, secondary schools in Ley are now unable to cater for the large number of grade 9 intakes. The top schools of Bugendi, Ley Secondary and Busu are turning students and their parents and guardians away due to limited space. And based on an agreement reached during a recent principals meeting, the excess students will be taken in by the Malahang Technical Secondary School and Bumayong Lutheran Secondary School. Principal of Malahang Tech, Winstanley Taumba, and his teachers are already stretched thin and stressed out.
We were expecting 200 students, but now we have almost 360 students now, grade 9. We are going through redevelopment, so now we don't have the classrooms for grade 9. We were expecting only four grade 9 classes, but because of this increase in the number, we are going to have 6 classes. But we don't have classroom for two classes. Somehow, I don't know how we work these few weeks to get a boost material classroom or something up.
Malahang Tech is a dual curriculum institution. Students also take trade courses apart from the regular academic subjects. This means that apart from regular classrooms, they also have trade buildings outfitted with the necessary equipment for mechanical trade classes like auto electrical, motor mechanic, panel beating, and spray painting.
It will really affect our TVWan classes because our school is a dual curriculum. We are offering normal academic subjects like our sister schools are offering, and then we are also giving them national TVWan course, grade 9 to 12. So with the grade 9 to 12, we should have between 20-25 per class for a trade class. But now it will go up to 50. Well, the whole idea of competency-based training will not be right. But I will try our very best to how to sort all these things out.
The principal suggested that primary schools, like the nearby Bowali Primary School, should be elevated to high school status to address this issue. Kamela Guare, TVWan News, Ley.
The academic performance of students will be greatly affected in a crowded classroom. There will be less interaction with teachers, and teachers will also have to work long hours to prepare lessons or mark papers. The principal of the Malahang Technical Secondary School in Ley outlined these challenges as the struggles with the influx of grade 9 students.
The Malahang Technical Secondary School in Ley, with a capacity of 200 grade 9 students, has now registered 360 new students, with more parents and guardians lining up outside their administration to push their children in. Principal Winstanley Taumba said because of the influx of students, they will have to construct 2 makeshift classrooms to have a total of 6 grade 9 classes. As it is, the teacher-to-student ratio is 1:40, but he anticipates a class of at least 50 students to just 1 teacher. And the issue is further compounded as Malahang Tech is a dual curriculum institution. Students study regular academic subjects as well as trade courses. Morobe's Provincial Program Advisor for Education, Keith Tangui, pointed out that this is an outcome of the government's free education policy. More students are being enrolled in schools with limited infrastructure. With the issue of over-selection of Ley's grade 9 students, the Morobe Provincial Education Board is currently looking at options, and one of them is to put the extra grade 9 students in a classroom at Makam Road Primary School. This will happen after Malahang and Bumayong are filled to capacity.
Education is their right, and all children must go to school. That's the provincial education agenda. So we have already talked with the principal, and we'll have a conversation again tomorrow. to ensure that some of our beginner teachers can do teaching at Makan Road. Also, the government is, giving us support by setting up the food centers. Food is established in all the secondary schools, so that those who cannot make it to grade 12 or they want to upgrade, food centers.
Kamala Guare, TVWan News, Leh.
The country on the morning of February 6 learned of the passing of Minister for Education, the late Jimmy Uguro. The late minister in his final days spent time in the Yanguru Sausia district with other members of the Education Department. In announcing the elevation of the Wingay High School to a secondary school in 2025, the late Minister Uguro's last official address was to commend Minister Richard Maru for his executive leadership of service delivery and the urgency in which he appealed to students and parents in the province to take full advantage of the national government's fee-free policy. The minister will be remembered for his challenge for the country to raise qualified, educated and smart individuals.
On Monday, 5th February, Minister for Education, the late Jimmy Uguro, Education Secretary Uke Komba, together with other members of the East Sepik Provincial Education Division, visited 2 schools in the Yanguru Sausia district. In the late minister's address, he spoke of the Education Ministry's drive for reform, the significance of the national government's fee-free policy, and announced funding and infrastructure support for 2 schools, Wingay High School and Paul Mamal High School.
In the government got planned the working class system. All got the LRG Maskisimal High Schools. Now, the districts in the country, Maskisim High Schools and secondary schools. So, young girls out here, I'm making peace, there's a reform come up. People come to top up the Minister, now today, meet up Wingy High School by Kisim Secondary School next year. And me no send by you continue to grade 11 next year. Now, that's why easy. You plan making good results straight long last 3 years. So, country be like creative members, good plan. Now, can more this can pass in me experiencing from 75 come now. So that's why. So me happy no imi okara time only team around our provinces. Please, you give him best plan blowing on this team. So we play improving system for education in the country.
Yesterday, Education Secretary and colleague of late Uguro, Uke Komba, hailed the late minister as a humble and great visionary, emphasizing that his passing is a great loss for the ministry and the country. The funeral arrangements and protocols will be led by the Prime Minister's department, whilst the Education Department will work closely with the government until the late minister's body is laid to rest. Marisula Kelaton, TVWan News.
You're watching TVWan News. We'll have the day's other stories when we come back. Stay with us.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSP Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSP branch today to register now for BSP Mobile Banking. BSP Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSP, our bank, our people.
Hiya, Mama. You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic kakaro, get up a big smile on face. Time for kim chicken, a great kumutu. Sip, sip, the moo, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
Open Nets.
says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Lager, Bunyamyumi.
A quick favorite meal for the day does feel good. Snacks noodles is my choice for a simple meal. It is easy to prepare and fast to cook. And with a touch of flavor and ingredients, quality noodles that can be cooked and enjoyed in many different ways. You see, my whole family loves it. It's made here in PNG and comes in different pack sizes. Snacks noodles, tastier by you like it more.
Superstition ain't the way.
What did you see?
It's big. Hey, man.
It's above us.
No.
After a series of tragedies, Buffalo Airways is gearing up for a comeback.
Got your seatbelt on?
Get ready for aviation drama,
My head's gonna explode now.
You prove to me that your accusations are right.
icy challenges, and thrilling rides.
Not right, we're going around.
Props are gonna be flying everywhere.
This is not good.
Don't miss the excitement in the skies.
Here we go. Everybody's ready?
Ice Pilots NWT, an all-new season, coming soon on Outdoor.
Thanks for staying with us. The latest report by BSP Financial Group reveals that socio-economic issues, including rising law and order problems and service disruptions, have dampened business confidence in Papua New Guinea throughout 2023. BSP's Group General Manager for Corporate Banking, Peter Beswick, highlighted concerns over the depreciation of the PNG kina and USD mid-rate and emphasized the need for government intervention to rebuild confidence, especially after disruptive events in January 2024. Despite challenges, the signing of the Papua LNG FID offers hope for revitalizing business morale and potentially triggering an extended investment cycle in PNG. Australia Prime Minister Anthony Albanese extended a warm welcome to Prime Minister James Marape as he commenced his two-day official visit to Australia starting today. The meeting between the two leaders seeks to fortify the long-standing bilateral relationship with a focus on reinforcing security ties, enhancing economic cooperation, advancing infrastructure projects, and fostering stronger people-to-people connections. This engagement builds upon the bilateral security agreement signed between the two nations last year. A notable highlight of Prime Minister James Marape's two-day visit to Australia includes his address to members and senators of the Australian Parliament, marking the first in-person speech by a foreign leader since 2020. Both leaders anticipate commemorating the approaching 50th anniversary of Papua New Guinea's independence in 2025. Australia Prime Minister Anthony Albanese expressed his eagerness for the visit, emphasizing the intertwined security and prosperity interests of both nations. He underscored the significance of Marape's address to the Australian Parliament as a testament to the deepening bonds between the two countries.
I honor bestowed to our country, and Prime Minister Anthony Albanese in our last address in Canberra did advocate a line that PNG Australia has a regional leadership role, and we said a regional leadership role in as far as our region is concerned on the globe. We live in the South Pacific, we relate to Southeast Asia, we relate to Asia, and we relate to the world. And for Australia recognizing PNG's emergence as a co-leader in the region, and for Australia allowing the leadership of Papua New Guinea to address the Parliament is a high honor bestowed to us 49 years on since our independence.
PM Marape, before departing for Australia, affirmed the importance of his trip, stating that his address to the Australian Parliament carries the weight of the PNG Prime Minister's office, representing the entire nation. PM Marape underscored the responsibility of all citizens, including elected leaders and commentators, to speak with accountability, recognizing the impact of their words on the country's image.
I'm not going down as James Marape, rather I'm carrying the office of our people, the Prime Minister's office, to speak and address the Australian Parliament on behalf of the entire people of our country in respect to PNG-Australia relationship. I want to encourage everyone, whether they're elected leaders into office or every citizen who are offering commentaries out there. You have your right to offer commentary, but speak and utter with responsibility. It is your country's image. You're not affecting James Marape, you're affecting the country.
The meeting between the leaders of Australia and PNG reflects a commitment to fostering a peaceful, prosperous and resilient Pacific region through collaboration and mutual vision. 2 police officers will stand for trial at the Waigani National Court for unlawfully assaulting a 20-year-old female over a stolen mobile phone. First Constable Onesmus Kiki, attached to the Waigani Police Station, and Senior Constable Dunstan Wunum, attached to the Boroko Police Station, appeared before the Waigani Committal Court on Tuesday. They were committed by the Committal Court to stand for trial at the National Court due to sufficient evidence by the police prosecutor.
The Waigani Committal Court is committed to police officers to stand for trial after the court found sufficient evidence that they unlawfully assaulted a 20-year-old female over a stolen phone. It was alleged that on Wednesday, December 7, 2022, between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m., First Constable Onesmus Kiki and Senior Constable Dunstan Wunum and another police officer drove to the victim's residence at TVWan in a police hire vehicle to pick up the female from her parents' house. Wunum was the driver. Kiki, who is the owner of the stolen phone, was a passenger, along with the third police officer. At the women's parents' house, First Constable Kiki and Senior Constable Wunum physically assaulted the woman when she denied taking Kiki's mobile phone while cleaning Kiki's house at Morata 2 the previous day. It was alleged that the woman was then driven through a back road behind the University of Papua New Guinea and further threatened. Kiki allegedly fired a gunshot at her feet and missed. The threats, which include verbal and physical abuse, continued at the Morata swamp. Kiki has been charged with 2 counts for unlawful assault, including hitting her with hard objects, breaching Section 6(3) of the Summary Offence Act, and Wunum was charged with unlawful deprivation of the accused's personal liberty against her will, breaching Section 355B of the Criminal Code Act. Magistrate Laura Covey presided over the case. She said their admission in the police under brief that clearly stated the police officers were allegedly accused of the offense. She told the police officers that the findings does not mean that they are guilty of the offense. Rather, the findings contain sufficient evidence that may proceed further for the National Court for trial. The magistrate then ruled that the matter be brought before the National Court on the 20th of February 2024 for trial. Tracy Pa, TVWan News.
In Papua New Guinea's remote Osima village, the EU Straight PNG program has revitalized the community's economy through cocoa farming, market access, gender and youth inclusion, and infrastructure development. Led by Father Zachary Miroy and supported by the FAO, the village of 3,000 inhabitants has transitioned from traditional subsistence living to economic empowerment. Through the establishment of cocoa budwood gardens, nurseries and training initiatives, cocoa farming has thrived without deforestation. The construction of a cocoa export depot in Vanimo promises better market access and higher prices for the cocoa beans. The program emphasizes gender equality and youth involvement in the agricultural sector while rehabilitating the vital Pasikrita Road to improve accessibility to markets and services. And now the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2669 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2594, $0.3949 Australian dollars, €0.2337 euro, and 38.03 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, all closed higher except coffee, palm oil, and crude oil closed lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. This is TVWan News. Stay tuned. We'll have news from abroad when we return.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSP Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase easy pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSP branch today to register now for BSP Mobile Banking. BSP Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSP, our bank, our people.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo in milk taste and added nutrients, Milo in milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Find PNG made.
Papua New Guinea. We love a reason for a family gathering. A reason to play. A reason to ignite the flame. A reason to cook the best with the best. Flame Oil, now PNG made for PNG cooking. Flame Oil, winning taste.
Enjoying life when we work together, making happy memories that last forever. Hot in talk, young or old, let's calories, family meal with home. We'll bring out the smiles, cause it's our favorite from us. Tennessee cola, scale rice, on scale price. Tennessee cola, scale rice, on scale price. Amber, you like it?
Hardware House is more than just a store. It is where quality meets affordability, where culture is proudly celebrated. Spanning 9 provinces, we pride ourselves in offering top-notch customer support and services. We're more than just a store. We're more than a brand. We are Hardware House.
It's the law of the jungle out here. It's the only law that matters.
It'll be you versus him. And that is not a fight you are designed to win.
Dad, please be careful.
We're gonna make it home.
Don't you move.
Beast.
Welcome back. In regional news, Solomon Islands has seen the official launch of the Right to Information Initiative. The project is a collaborative effort between the University of the South Pacific and the United Nations Development Programme under the Strengthening Anti-Corruption, Transparency and Accountability in Pacific Island Countries, supported by the Government of the United Kingdom. Access to information is a fundamental human right and a key driver for countries in the achievement of the UN 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, and in particular, SDG Goal 16, which promotes just, peaceful and inclusive societies. Access to information and good governance are gaining momentum in the Pacific Island countries through the collaborative efforts of USB and UNDP. New Zealand's National Day, Waitangi Day, has seen tensions erupt between Maori protesters and the country's new centre-right government. It follows proposed changes to the country's founding document, sparking a week-long protest march to the location where it was signed.
For 6 days, protesters have been marching to a place that holds great significance. Emotional scenes on the roads of Waitangi as more than 1,000 people cross into the treaty grounds. This is where so many Māori protests have happened before. So when the Treaty of Waitangi was threatened, the call went out.
Come and join us.
And thousands answered.
We've all come from different tribes, united here, and one thought: to stop the government in what it's doing.
Waitangi Day commemorates the signing of the Treaty of Waitangi, New Zealand's founding document. As part of his coalition deal, the Prime Minister agreed to support a bill that would seek to clarify the treaty's principles. But the idea is unacceptable to Māori. At this week's annual public meeting in Waitangi, there were tense scenes as the government met with frustrated Māori leaders. As tensions flared. There's still a way to go with the treaty's principles bill, and it's now a major distraction for the government. Māori have sent a clear message here at Waitangi that they're not backing down, setting the stage for debate to intensify.
The current coalition government are sort of seeking a return to the 1980s or 70s.
While the bill may never see the light of day, the protest and sense of unity it's inspired will live on.
Bigger income tax cuts for millions of Australians will come into force from the 1st of July after the federal opposition confirmed it will waive the government's proposal through Parliament. After a fortnight of criticism, the coalition folded on the first sitting day of 2024. But it is promising a broader tax policy for voters to mull over ahead of the next election.
Seeking spiritual counsel on a drizzly Canberra morning.
Hopefully it'll set the tone for a respectful but difficult year.
Provided with a reality check.
You are not gods.
Along with some timely advice.
You are allowed to ask for forgiveness.
That's something the Prime Minister's praying will be offered by voters better off under his reshaped income tax cuts.
He can go right at the back.
Insisting it's the opposition struggling to find its policy position.
If they are fair income, then their response must be to not only oppose, but to promise to roll it back.
The Coalition's response was delivered.
We don't want to deny Australians tax cuts because people are hurting.
The opposition's been railing against the Prime Minister for breaking an election promise.
A liar in the lodge.
And while not thrilled with the policy and promising to try to amend it during parliamentary debate, Coalition MPs and senators couldn't ignore the extra $800 a year, which will flow for most low and middle income earners.
We're supporting this change, not to support the Prime Minister's lie, but to support those families who need help now.
10 days ago, Mr Dutton was taking a different tack.
I think you should call an election.
The opposition keen to broaden their attack, suggesting changes to income tax cuts opens the door to scrapping tax concessions on property, such as negative gearing. With the Coalition now on side, messy and perhaps expensive deals with the Greens and Senate crossbench have been averted. But don't expect Peter Dutton and members of the Coalition to relent in their assault on Anthony Albanese's integrity. In this place, character is always tested, even by those on your own side.
If I said the name Peter Dutton, what one word springs into your mind?
Thug. Have you found me to be a thug? I think some of the narrative is sort of retrofitting a particular purpose.
And it's only day one of the parliamentary year.
It is likely there will be another attempt to send livestock on the MV Bahija to the Middle East after the Federal Agriculture Department rejected an application for re-export. The ship has been at Fremantle since a voyage had to be abandoned because of Houthi rebels targeting ships in the Red Sea.
Bahija was turned back to Australia. There was a proposal to take the more than 15,000 sheep and cattle to the Middle East the long way around. The Secretary of Agriculture delivered the bad news for WA farmers late on Monday.
The application submitted on 26 January 2024 for the re-export of livestock on board the MV Bahija to Israel via the Cape of Good Hope has not been approved by my department.
The departmental regulator couldn't be satisfied that arrangements for the transport of livestock to their final destination were appropriate to ensure their health and welfare. The minister says that what happens next is not up to the government.
That is a commercial decision now for the exporter. They have the responsibility to come up with a proposal for what is done with these livestock now, but the department has made clear that they stand ready and willing to assist the exporter.
The plan at this stage is to try again.
To remove the livestock from the ship and able to return to quarantine. The livestock will be rested for up to 10 days and then a permit will be reissued to re-export, hopefully.
The sticking point is a legal challenge from the group's Animals Israel opposing the export. The animals are likely to stay on the Bahija until after the heatwave expected in the coming days. Mr Pearson says that during last week's high temperatures, it was much cooler on the boat.
From the data collected from the ship, during that 45, 46, I think it was around the 24 to 26 degrees off Rottnest.
Mr Pearson says the alternative is processing on shore, but there is a backlog.
And that ends the news segment. Over to you, Rex.
Thanks, Carol. This is TVWan News. Later in sports, Lay softball is back, fighters return from camp, and PNG draws OFC qualifier opener.
Beauty is my business, but beauty sure is a tough game. Filters are great, but great skin, better. And that's why my skin deserves the best. So I choose self-care, soaps that gently nourish my skin, resulting in a radiant look, made with tropical ingredients. I trust self-care from City Pharmacy, so bring it on! My skin is ready and so am I.
Life is about making memories, sharing new adventures. Go beyond the familiar. Don't let bacteria hold you back from experiencing the world. Protex uses natural antibacterial protection with flaxseed oil and eliminates 99.9% of bacteria. Free yourself. Go beyond with Protex.
Make a true wish and become one of our lucky winners! Truka is giving away 400,000 kina with 1,000 kina up for grabs every fortnight. That's not all! 20 major winners will win 10,000 kina each! It's easy! Buy a 5 kg or 10 kg Truka medium grain or jasmine rice and look for the entry forms in the bag. Fill in your details and drop it in the entry box at your nearest participating store. Don't miss out! Make a true wish now! Terms and conditions apply.
Number One Super wants members Super to last as long as possible in retirement. With Number One Super's retirement savings account, you get regular payments while the balance remains invested and continues to grow, helping your super savings last longer. It's like still getting paid even when you stopped working. Number One's retirement savings account. Contact us today to find out more.
How dare you? How dare you?
Family is a mess.
We're counting on you to fix it. Make sure you're not late for dinner.
Buckle up.
We're sending gifts to the Philippines. I'm sending this brand new hairdryer. If it makes your hair look like that, I wouldn't send it.
We should put them both in the box and ship it.
Easter Sunday.
This season, the Bunce family are taking the ultimate risk.
There's no investors, there's no third party.
We're paying for it ourselves.
We have to find some good jade.
The stakes are high, and every decision is their own.
Time and money is everything. That's how important it is.
Hit it!
Rush, 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 move, move, move. It's all or nothing.
If we don't mine this year, we have no next year.
Jade Fever, streaming now on Outdoor.
Welcome back. After a 3-year hiatus due to COVID-19, Lay Softball is back. Over the past 4 weeks, the Lay Softball Association has been running pre-season fun games just to pull the interest back, and sure enough, teams have turned up at the Eriku Softball Oval. Lay Softball President Lindsay Pulu said the competition for now, the Slow Pitch Mixed Softball Challenge, will stage its finals this weekend.
Lay softball fraternity in Lay City are being encouraged to get out of hibernation and come out to enjoy their favorite family-oriented sport, in this case softball. After COVID-19, softball is one sport making a slow comeback in Lay with mixed softball games at the Eriku Softball Diamonds. Lay Softball Association President Lindsay Pulu has mobilized a number of clubs in and around Lay City to get the sport up and running.
The objective is to basically generate interest, to get the sport up and running again. As you can see in the background here, we're trying to get the season going. We're running a mixed team slow pitch.
Pulu said they have been running mixed games over the past 3 weeks with good turnouts so far, with special emphasis on encouraging young boys and girls to come out and learn softball.
We've been doing this for 3 weeks, and this weekend the turnout has been a very big improvement. We've got the families back out here with the kids, and as you can see in the background, we've got, we managed to get together, I think 3, possibly 4 teams going now. So we're having fun games. So this is an open invitation to anyone else who wants to come and learn our sport or just have a fun day. Please come and join us here at Eriku. Thank you.
Pulu said this weekend is the final fun games, and thereafter players will form 6 teams, the maximum, but not limited, to kickstart proper season. He clarified that a proper season of mixed slow pitch will be rolled out for at least 2 weekends in round-robin format. Pulu expects traditional LSA clubs to take the lead in fielding teams. He said so far 3 teams have confirmed participation in the proper season slow pitch mixed challenge, including 2 teams from Marlins Club and 1 from Puma Energy Company. He said based on assessment so far, this would be the timeline leading to the 2024 season proper fast pitch season for both the men and women respectively. Terry Longwood, TVWan Sports.
4 elite Papua New Guinea Taekwondo fighters returned to the country on Saturday after a 2-week intense training camp in Honiara, Solomon Islands. Fiona Zohe, Elina Soma, Kevin Kasman and Gideon Mara were among representatives from 5 other Oceania countries that attended the training camp.
PNG Taekwondo national coach and former PNG representative Edward Kasman said the 2-week Oceania training camp was run by a couple of high-level coaches from Korea representing World Taekwondo. It is believed this is a first for Oceania since the Oceania Taekwondo Union was created. This was a new experience for the participants with different levels of intensity for the rising athletes.
It's an initiative by the World Taekwondo Federation that was offered to each region. This will be the first for the region. This is the first Oceania Olympic Taekwondo training camp. They liaised with the Olympic Committee. Taekwondo PNG applied through the Olympic Committee. It was approved. We had to organize things within a short space of time to get 4 of our athletes there. Initially 2 of them couldn't make it, so we had to replace them. But again, great talent from our camp. that had to go and learn very new skills and new levels of intensity for training.
Casman said after the training camp, the 4 athletes have got a mammoth task ahead of them to maintain that pace and intensity ahead of the Olympic qualifier in Australia in April.
We now maintain that pace from now till April. We've got about 2 months to go, and we hopefully at the end of this month, we send them off to Australia for further preparation. They're going to be in an environment that has adequate level of athlete to prepare against. The environment as well. There's a lot of good level competition in Australia that they can go and help prepare them for.
Casman said while they would like to maintain the core of the athletes they have who are physically in their prime for the long term beyond the Olympic Games, they're also gunning for the mini games leading up to the next Pacific Games in Tahiti in 2027.
The athletes had to learn a lot of new stuff at a very different intensity. Again, preparing for Olympic Games in Paris. And before that, obviously, try to qualify in April. So they've gone and got involved with a very different level of intensity in terms of training for that level.
In the interim, PNG Taekwondo is also investing in identifying new talents from other regions as well as the establishment of new associations around the country. Terry Longwood, TVWan Sports.
One of the PNG's rising female fighters in the sport of Taekwondo, Fiona Johe, has made no secret about her personal aspirations to represent in PNG at the international stage after attending 2 weeks of intense training camp in Honiara, Solomon Islands. Young Fiona was among 4 fighters from PNG who attended the Oceania Taekwondo training camp as part of lead-up preparation towards the Olympic qualifier in Australia in April.
Speaking to the media upon the team's return from the 2 weeks Oceania training camp in the Solomon Islands on Saturday, PNG's rising female Taekwondo fighter, Fiona Johe, was pleased to share her personal experience and how tough it was to train at a high level with intense under world-class trainers from Korea. She said it was a far cry from how we train in PNG. There was little or no recovery sessions, resulting in Fiona sustaining minor injuries as well.
Compared to our training here, it's like ours it's easier, we can do things, but the Korean training is really hard. We do a lot of work like running, we go to the stadium to run most of the time, and then we train from the morning till the night.
However, Fiona said they learned a lot of good skills from the sessions, including mind power, control, kicking techniques, and how to score points in big sporting championships.
I learned a lot of things, new stuff, the kicking, the techniques of the game that we played. We have learned a lot of new things. The Koreans teach us some of the ways to get score when we're fighting and stuff. The easier way, they call it, but it's not that easy. But, yeah.
With the Olympic qualifier next on the radar, Fiona has vowed she won't be resting on her laurels as she looks forward to more hard work to be better. From the Solomon Islands training camp, Fiona is looking forward to using that experience to excel at the next level and hopefully earn a spot for the Olympics.
To continue to train hard here and to do better, to be selected to go back to the Olympic qualifiers in April. That's the goal, to train hard here.
Growing up playing rugby union, Taekwondo was never on Fiona's mind. By default, she jumped on the bandwagon through her big sister's influence. When asked if going back to rugby was an option, Fiona said she's found her lane and she's enjoying her journey in martial arts. Fiona Johe and Nila Soma, Kevin Casman and Gideon Mara were among representatives from other 5 Oceania countries that attended the training camp in the past 2 weeks. Terry Longwood, TVWan Sports.
New Zealand heads into the Women's Olympic Football Tournament Oceania qualifier from February 7th to 19th as strong favourites to qualify for the 5th Olympic Games. But coach Zita Klimkova believes the standard of women's football throughout the Pacific is rapidly improving, with increased emphasis on developing the women's game, a legacy of 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup, which was co-hosted by Australia and New Zealand. Speaking at the pre-tournament media conference, Klimkova said she had watched the Oceania teams at the recent Pacific Games in Honiara 2023 and had taken note of rising standards of football in the region. New Zealand believes more competitive games can better the Pacific Islanders, and there's huge potential for women's football to grow and develop. The PNG national women's soccer team drew 1-1 in the opening match of the Olympic Qualifier 2024 Oceania Football Confederation early this afternoon in Apia, Samoa. Karen Kalapai's boot saved the day for PNG side after a scrappy start. The first 20 minutes of the match was evenly contested between the two teams. However, the match became intensified and scrappy, with both teams struggling to put points on the scoreboard. Solomon Islands finally broke open the scoreboard with a remarkable goal through Lorena Solosaya after an Eileen Peggy set up. Solomon Islands kept putting pressure on PNG's defense and went on to miss another 2 goals, which would have put the match to rest in the first half. However, the PNG women returned in the second stanza with grit and determination that finally paid off in the final quarter of the game. Karen Kalapai netted the equalizer through individual brilliance and balanced the competition. PNG found their mojo after the equalizing goal and was dominant throughout the remainder of the match. Kalapai again set up one for captain Mari Kaipu, who failed to nail it down on the open as she kicked straight into the waiting arms of the Solomon Islands goalkeeper. PNG had a chance to grab the win but could not. Overall, it was a fair game. PNG plays Fiji next. It is expected to be an intense encounter. Fiji defeated American Samoa 10-0 today. PNG international footballer Tommy Sami has signed with the Melbourne Knights. Prior to his signing, he was playing for Altona Magic Football Club in the Victoria NPL. Sami expressed excitement for the opportunity to be a member of one of the big football clubs in the Victoria NPL. Following his signing to the Melbourne Knights, PNG international footballer Tommy Sami said he has always wanted to transfer to Melbourne Knights given the rich history of the club. The club, through its website, expressed excitement in the PNG international ahead of the 70th year anniversary. Known for his explosive speed, the 29-year-old has 16 caps for PNG national side and joins Knights after departing Altona Magic at the end of the 2023 NPL Victoria season. Sami's career isn't only limited to the Victorian NPL, with the PNG International having started out in 2013 in the PNG National Soccer League with Besta United PNG. In 2015, Sami made a move to the Ekari United, where he also played in the OFC Champions League. In July of 2016, he joined Marist FC of the Telecom S-League, commonly known as the Solomon Islands S-League. After, in 2017, he joined Malaita Kings FC of the same league. His 17 goals that season awarded him the Golden Boot Award. In 2017, he made a move to New Zealand, joining Northern League side Hamilton Wanderers AFC, before moving to Australia at the end of 2021. While playing for Altona Magic in the Victorian NPL from season 2022, he also spent some time on the loan to Dandenong City before settling back into the club. Sami is the fourth and final new signing for the Knights this season. That's all we have in sports. Carol.
Thank you, Rex. And now we'll have the weather forecast for the main centers for the next 24 hours. Southern region, isolated showers and thunderstorms. Port Moresby, partly cloudy with chances of few showers and drizzles. Momase, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Lae, cloudy with possible few showers. New Guinea Islands, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Kokopo and Rabaul, partly cloudy with possible brief showers. Highlands, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Mount Hagen, cloudy periods with rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Ocean forecast. Coral Sea sees moderate, becoming rather rough over eastern sector with west to northwest winds of 15 to 20 knots, reaching 25 to 33 knots over eastern sector. Coastal waters forecast. Waters of southern PNG and Indonesia border to Daru to Kiwai Islands, Kerma to Yule Island, Hood Point to Samarai Islands. Seas 1 to 2 meters, rising to 3 meters along warning areas. And that ends another edition of TVWan News. Thanks for your company. Have a pleasant evening. Bye for now.
The TVWan News was proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.